1, 2. I think we're live. That's perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another BTN podcast. My name is Scuba, and we're here live with. We're going to add in Nick Shane. How you doing, my friend?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. I've been looking forward to this all day, mate.
Oh, nice one.
As we first met like a few years ago, we done like a music session and stuff like that. Do you remember doing that with us?
Yeah, in the studio up at
In the studio, man. Aye.
Yeah, it was
good,
class.
It was great, man. I enjoyed it. I feel sorry because I felt that was like the first time we tried it, and we only had like one camera, so I had to go through the sort of bother of you miming a wee bit and stuff like that, if you remember.
Yeah.
You're like one of the like sort of few people that like adapted to it really quickly.
Well, yeah, miming's it's pretty easy. Like I've done it before, and I've had to pretend to play stuff before. Not through like pretend to be blind to people that I'm actually playing, just through like doing videos and stuff.
Well, I was going to say you must have sort of like a sort of proficient ability to do that, like through music videos and stuff like that as well. So
certainly no, not maybe not in like I think that was like 2015 or 16, but probably not so much then. But probably more now. Yeah, it's a while ago.
A fucking while ago, man.
It 6 years
ago, I would have been with that time.
We're still here, bro.
I know we're still live.
Still here, yeah.
Still live and kicking, man. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Just watched the new music video just before we started as well. How did you manage to get hooked up with like Gail Porter and all that kind of stuff?
Well, she follows quite a lot of Scottish bands, Scottish acts on Instagram, and she randomly started following me one weekend a few months back, and we started chatting and kind of chatting away to her about what music she was into and what she was up to, like sort of post Top of the Pops and all that kind of thing. And eventually I was like, do you want to be in a music video? And she was like, healthy, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like, she was on a. You heard You Call That Radio, Mark McGee's podcast?
Yeah.
You been on that yet?
I've not. No, I know Mark though. I've known Mark for a long time. I've not been on his podcast. I think he's played a couple of my songs. Occasionally got a message on Twitter saying that I've been tagged on his page and stuff. So yeah, I'll need to speak to him about podcasts and whatnot. It's something that I don't really do very often.
I was thinking that I'd very rarely sort of hear about you being on a podcast and stuff like that. Is there a reason for that, or are you just know that interested in like these kind of things?
I don't know. Like it's okay, mate. I don't have a massive like amount of stories to tell and anecdotes and that. I just say whatever and do whatever and speak about it. It's not really. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any funny stories or anything. Silly bits of information. It's just if I'm doing something new, I'll maybe like speak about it on a few shows and that, but that's really it. I think nobody really asks, to be honest. No fucker wants me. That's the problem.
I thought it was maybe like a mysterious thing. You like sort of like to hide behind the scenes a wee bit. Like.
That's for religious reasons. I can't do podcasts.
I was wondering because I was like I watched a Graham Norton one night and it was Noel Gallagher was on. Liam Gallagher was on.
All right,
and it was the best. He's amazing at interviews because he doesn't like doing them.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to watch. I'm assuming this is going to go this way.
No, I'm not. I mean, I just I don't know. I like chatting and that, and I like speaking. I don't really like speaking in public. Like it's not really a thing I like doing. I certainly don't like speaking on stage at any great length. But yeah, let's see what happens. The Gallagher interviews are always quite funny though. They're quite they're very, very funny. The Noel Gallagher ones are quite funny, I think.
Oh, for sure. I've just got a message for you. Remember my wee brother. I'll put this up. I don't know. Could you see this, Nick?
Yeah. How does it feel about being the most beautiful man? That's what I think.
That's for you. That's for you, Nick.
At any point is that an honour? I don't know. It must be pretty slim pickings if I'm the most beautiful man you've had on here. Like,
very fucking slim pickings. I I think we said like when we were doing the sort of the music sessions and stuff that you were like the most beautiful man we had met and we'd had in the studio at the time. And so Craig's sort of carrying that on. That's Craig that had done the sessions with us last. It's my wee brother.
Okay, nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Craig. It feels great.
And it doesn't take much, Nick. It doesn't take much.
Nah,
You just come on and that's it. That's it. We're all kind of ugly people up here. That's what we do.
yeah, I know. We just kind of get by. Yeah.
That's why we kind of like focus on the ugly more than anything else, and then just kind of sort of work everything else around about there.
Yeah. When Sam Smith comes up to the Barrowlands, I mean, the most beautiful person ever to play in the Barrowlands in Scotland. I think.
For sure.
That's the kind of level we're at.
Like. You seen everybody talking shit about Sam Smith while he's different
yeah,
well, and all that kind of stuff?
Well, they've managed to achieve it because everyone's fucking talking about it.
Exactly.
So,
and he'll keep fucking doing it as well. I keep saying that to them. He'll keep doing it. As long as you're going to fucking talk about it, you're probably quite happy.
Yeah. From day one, I was like, well, mission achieved, like, because you want everyone to talk about you. And now everybody in the world is talking about it. Like, literally, that's all I'm seeing on Facebook. Like, well, up until sort of this afternoon, that was all I was seeing on Facebook was pictures of Sam Smith and he's. Do you ever watch the program Bottom with Rick Mail?
Yes.
It reminds me of when he goes, "You don't mean let's see how much custard you can hold in your underpants competition." It reminds me of that.
Well, again, like people going crazy about like people wearing mad stuff. It's like fucking Lady Gaga wore a costume of meat one year.
Yeah, meat dress. Yeah.
Like you have been doing that for a while. You know what I mean? You can't be fucking like.
Well, it's. I mean, you can see the difference how people go on about Harry Styles, and people still take the piss out of Harry Styles and call him a pure idiot and everything. But he gets met with a lot more sort of sympathy and a lot more positivity than what let's say Sam Smith would get, who's not as, let's say, pretty and beautiful as Harry Styles. I mean, just because he's a big silly looking fucking track doesn't mean that he's any less of a fucking thing. And I would go, like, when people compare him to David Bowie, I'd say that would be a bit much. Like, I wouldn't be comparing Sam Smith to David Bowie. But when you look at the way it's met, like how the way Harry Styles is met and the way Sam Smith's met, it's two completely different. It couldn't be two completely different things. You know what I mean? People joke for Harry Styles, but Sam Smith's just a bit of a laughing stock. You know what I
mean? That's it. I've seen him on it. He was on Graham Norton, and if you see the actual size of the guy, he's an actual unit of boy, man.
Yeah.
Fucking just the tallest person that I thought the couch was going to flip when he sat in that, man.
Yeah.
No saying he's fat, just saying he's a big, like, fucking tall dude, man.
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah.
An ass kicker, man. An ass kicker. So, man. Well, let's go back to your, like, when you first started doing music and stuff like that. If I remember correctly, the last time we did a podcast, you said you done it for the girls.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I remember saying that, yeah. Yeah, I did. I stick by that. Yeah, absolutely.
You're still in it.
Yeah, I stand by that statement. Yeah, it's true. I still do, to be fair.
So how did you go from, like, because you obviously had, how long had you been learning guitar and stuff like that before you really started?
Ages. I was playing the guitar since I was. Well, when I started high school, I properly started playing the guitar. I started playing the guitar at an early age, but I wasn't really enjoying it. So I never really did it as much as I could have. And then when I started high school, things like The View and that was all kind of taken off, and the Libertines were at their peak and all this kind of thing, and Oasis were massive and that. So guitar music was quite popular. The Arctic Monkeys were starting out, so a lot of the younger people were right into the Arctic Monkeys and stuff. So I kind of started it properly through that, to be fair. And then I started writing songs when I was dead young. They were terrible though, like fucking terrible. Like, if you think they're bad now, like these ones, they're really, really terrible songs. And then I just kept doing it and kept doing it. I would write a song every single day from about 12 till I was about 14, and then I stopped and sort of had a look at what I was doing and started writing actual songs that are being, like, there's one I'm going to record this year that's like 20 years old. Like, I wrote it when I was 13,
Right,
So
cool.
I'm been recording that this year. That's going to be a single. Yeah. So that's the first song I ever like the oldest song that I've got that's still an active song that that's not a pile of shite, basically.
Mhm. Do you find like
Yeah.
because you do a lot of busking and that still as well, eh?
No,
Oh, you stopped
I've not
that?
done that for a while. I stopped doing that when I was about 28.
Right, okay.
No, I stopped when I was about 28. Yeah, it was getting to like it was um my needs were becoming more and uh and the money wasn't cutting it, and I had to actually get gainful employment.
Right, Nick, I'm going to stop you there. I think we're losing you a wee bit, man.
Um, and stuff. What? Fix my signal. 2 seconds.
Oh, sorry.
You hear me?
Common issue on these fucking things, man.
Can you hear me?
I've got you back.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you went a bit robotic
Okay.
when you were explaining the busking thing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just basically saying, I needed to. It was becoming. It was taking the fun out of music. It was. I was playing like songs every day, and it was. Sometimes it was my own songs, but mostly it was like covers, and it was taking the actual fun out of playing guitar and singing. And I was doing it every single day, and it wasn't making a lot of money, so I just
Yeah.
kind of stopped and did other things.
Because I get like busking, people just sort of think about it as it's a lot of homeless folk and like a lot of people think that, but like to actually have the fucking ability to go out into the just a public setting, just a public street, and then start is pretty amazing to me actually.
Yeah, well, once you start doing it, like you become known as the guy that's busking in the town. So, like, I
Mhm.
never used to do it in my hometown. I did it in Dundee. I did it at the start, but after I started coming to Fife, I just stayed in Fife for about 10 years. I never left Fife and stuff. So,
Mhm.
you just become known as the guy that busks. Like, you don't. If I started selling like sandwiches and Greg's, people would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" They'd be more freaked out by that. You know what I mean? They wouldn't want me handling their food either. To be fair.
I've got another wee comment here. I'll throw a comment up for us, man.
Right.
It's Angela Gillily. What do you think of X Factor, Nick? Many talented people who play in their garage for years and should be famous and are not. Hard work getting to where you are, and quite rightly deserve where you are. Love your latest music and video. What are your thoughts on X Factor and all that kind of stuff?
I went into the X Factor when I was younger. When I
Oh, did
was
you? I
about
never heard this.
yeah, when I was 20. Yeah, I went and signed up for it, and what was it that happened? It was mental. It was just a strange day. I got invited to the SECC in Glasgow, and I had to sit in a big warehouse for about 5 hours with these fucking people. Like this is like 2010 or something. So this is when it was all singing, all dancing. People were just like everyone either thought they were One Direction or they thought they were like, oh, just it was crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, they kept us in this big warehouse for 5 hours, and it was really weird. And then I eventually got taken through a room, and I had my guitar with me. I had my guitar beside me the whole day. I was sitting, practicing it, I was tuning it, and I was putting it down, and I was picking it up, and I was putting it down the whole day. Then I got taken through to the room, and I had the guitar in my hands, and the people that were at this desks were like, "You can't play the guitar, and you can't. You're not allowed to use the guitar. You have to just sing yourself." I was like,
Fuck.
well, yeah, so I started singing away, and the girl was like, "Oh, you've got a lovely voice, but I don't think you're quite what we're looking for." So that was that. I think what they were wanting was somebody either extremely amazing or somebody extremely fucking bonkers, and I wasn't either of them. So
It's
that was that.
usually pretty much what they go for a lot of time, pretty exclusively. Like somebody, like again, you're nice looking man, Nick, but they're wanting their Harry Styles, they're wanting their like all the kind of people in it, or again the kind of bonkers people that they get on that are. I find funny, but we shouldn't. I feel bad for laughing at some of them sometimes, but some of it is quite hilarious. Then.
Yeah, yeah. I think because this was before like Off Gem stepped in and started clamping down on them, taking the piss out of people with mental health problems. And
Yep.
I think
Yep.
back then they were looking for people who were genuinely fucking mental. So yeah, that's a shame. But it was a miserable experience. Really miserable experience. The whole day it wasn't my kind of thing. It was so busy though. There was hundreds and hundreds of people there
Aye, aye.
for it
I could
stuff
just imagine,
and
like, I've heard a few
that's that.
different stories for a few different people. Jade Richards, who went through to like the bigger rounds and stuff like that, she's openly spoke about like how mad it is. And there's a guy, you can a beatboxer called Big Taj, by any chance, for Glasgow?
Okay, right. I've heard the name. Yeah, yeah,
He was on Britain's Got Talent. I think he got through to like some. I think he done some stuff on them, but he said the audition processes were just like absolutely mental sometimes, which is probably a
yeah.
common trait for most
Um,
people. Like, and they take away some of them take away a lot of your ability to like sell merch and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
They want to take control of all your like social networks and all that kind of stuff. Awful, awful.
Mm.
And there's always like people like trying to like they'll go to see like a local musician or something like that. They're always trying to like force them to go into like X Factor and stuff, which is really annoying a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, anyone with half a brain was not to go would know that like there's a clear difference between music and family entertainment, and I know the lines are quite blurred sometimes with that, and especially now with TikTok and Instagram Reels and that, people are they would rather be fucking clowns and they would just be like clowning around rather than writing songs and doing songs. They would rather just dance about like fucking idiots. And some people that have got really good voices and they've got really good songs, but what they all know that, and we all struggle to realize that that doesn't cut the mustard anymore when it comes to being a musician. You've got to be a fucking idiot and a clown, and it's a
Yeah.
shame because you know, there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure that have got loads of good songs, but their TikTok views and their Instagram reel views are like 10, 100, 1,000 times more than what their
Yeah.
Spotify streams and stuff are. You know what I mean?
hmm I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of annoyance again for like around like the Fife area and Dundee. I don't know what is the Dundee scene like up there? Are people like quite active and stuff like that and like supporting everybody, or because I feel like the Fife
Uh,
scene is maybe about the same maybe.
hmm. The five scene's very close knit and it's always lovely and everyone's always friends and
Mhm.
when you go to a gig in Fife you always see about 10 other bands there and 10 other frontmen there and stuff.
Right.
Dundee, the younger crowd are like that, but the older crowd are not like that. People my age and older are. I like to think I'm like that, but deep down I don't think I am. We're
Right.
just not like that. They just don't. There's quite a bit. There's a bit of a cliquiness in Dundee. Like they'll especially when it comes to like the sort of higher end, like the promoter side and that. There's a clique in Dundee, a very strange clique, and it's
Mhm.
all run by people who are like some people are in covers bands and they still think they're the fucking Beatles, and they'll still swan about the venues like they rule the world, and they've never really written a song in their lives, and it's quite sickening actually. But Dundee's quite cliquey. It's very cliquey actually, and I'm not scared of saying it because we all fucking know it. But nobody comes out and says it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Places like Glasgow and Fife and that, it can all be quite close knit and that everyone's friendly with each other and all the bands are pals. Like I say, we played a gig at the King's Theatre in August and there was like four other frontmen there, like from bands in Fife. And it
Mhm.
was just a strange experience. I'd never seen it before. I looked out to the crowd and I saw a bloody dove standing there. And I was like, who's he? Like, it was like a fucking fever dream. I was like, why are there so many bands here? This is weird. Um, but like I say, the younger crowd in Dundee, they are supporting each other and that, and they are going to each other's gigs, and it's good to see that.
Mhm.
And I hope it continues because there is a lot of bands in Dundee. Like there's a lot of really good bands in Dundee, but they're all fighting for this imaginary fucking hierarchy, and they're all like, not supporting each other as well as they could be because they're all like, you know, that typical musicianship where you look, you just don't want to support somebody because you can't admit that they're better than yourself. You know what I mean?
There's always been that thing in music where there's like a common jealousy thing. Like there's like these guys are getting a bit further than me, these guys are getting more opportunities, and I see it all the time in the hip hop scene quite a lot. And it's
Right, yeah,
the same with every fucking genre of music, I would assume.
Every genre of
Professional,
music.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
just professional jealousy, just quite annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear that the art scene's quite like that as well. Like my Glasgow pals that are in the art scene, that's quite a and the folk scene. Fucking hell, the folk scene. They'll throw you out of pubs because you're not good enough and stuff. I've heard horrible stories about those bastards, man.
That's a scene you would think would be quite like nice.
Yeah, you think it was nice, but there's it's like as soon as you walk in the door in a folk club, it's like you know that you're no wanted there. Like you can just tell. I've got a few pals a few fiddle players I know that kind of go about these circles, and yeah, it's really cutthroat business. Like if you're not best, you're last. Like really quite weird setup. Yeah.
What about sport gigs and stuff? Do you get much sport gigs coming in and stuff like that?
I've got a few group chats with promoters and whatnot, and we've got a few coming up. Well, Sean Finlay's got us involved with his gigs. We've got the Shed project in Glasgow in April. But yeah, because of the tour that we're doing at the moment, I've not really been picking up many gigs front like the sort of either side of the tour. So, but like another thing that we never want to admit, that gigs really are a young man's game. Like it's difficult to get people my age and older to come out to gigs. Mid-month, like any time in the month really. But yeah, so it's we're doing like the tour obviously, and we're getting a few people along with that, but we're not really going to be doing a whole load of actual gigs in the next while, because we're doing a lot of the recordings and like the newer songs that have come out and that they're all very like orchestral and stuff, and a few of the songs we can't do them live because there's only really me and Ed that play live. Everybody else they're all kind of session musicians, so don't know. We'll see what. It's hard to say what will happen after the tour, but we'll see.
I was going to. Is it so you're in like mid tour right now? Like, how's it going so far, man?
Oh no, it's not started yet. It starts on Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it starts on Wednesday. Yeah. So we're doing Edinburgh on Wednesday, and we're in Dunfermline on Thursday. We're at the Chris Helm gig. We're supporting him supporting Chris Helm at the Brass House, and we've got a few others all over Scotland, basically.
You're parked, ready to go.
No. It's everything I need's in my coat. I mean, it's just
you just park the front pockets, man, ready to go on that.
Yeah, it's just a case of there's a few gigs where I will be away like overnight and that, but like there's 2 or 3 that might be clustered together, but a few of them are there's 3 or 4 days apart, so chances are I'll just be coming home and stuff.
That's a better idea. I much prefer that sort of getting back home, and I've always like if I was to go on any sort of tour, I would always prefer to get back home. I fucking hate staying out.
Yeah,
much hatred.
Yeah, one of the gigs is like 20 miles down the road there, so it's like
totally right.
Home. I mean, there's a few of them, like the March of the Mods gig in Paisley. That's on the 4th of March. There's a few. I think there's Perth, Ayr, and Paisley all clustered together. So probably staying out for that, and I'll probably stay out and enjoy the whatever Paisley's got to offer after the March of the Mods gig and that. So yeah, I'm going to try and enjoy myself as much as I can, but it's all just very stressful.
I can imagine, mate. I can imagine. Please send out information about your gigs. What I'll do is I'll speak to Nick afterwards, and I'll get like a wee tour list. Like at the bottom.
Yeah. There's artwork all over the place. There's on my Facebook page, at the top of my page, the pinned post is the list of gigs, and there's on that post there's links to tickets and stuff as well. Tickets are only £6 if you get them online, which is lovely for most of them anyway.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Now, so the music video is out right now. What I'll do is you want to play it first, or will we end on that? Like, you want to talk about the music first before we start getting into it?
Yeah, I could watch it if you want, and I could speak about it after. Yeah.
Right, we'll kick it in now. Let's see if this does this perfectly. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
So this is Nick Shane with Shine Over Me. Here we go. See if this works flawlessly. We'll see.
The more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. I am from Britain, and I think it is right that I am paid the same as my male counterparts. I think it is right that I should be able to make decisions about my own body. I think it is right that women be involved on my behalf in the policies and the decisions that will affect my life.
There's another young heart beating all by itself. I swear I will be honest and true. But you see, my heart is breaking now for you. Oh, shine, la, la, won't you shine over me? Hold on, baby girl, be set free. Every new day rises with a reborn. 'Cause every day we rise a little more. I know I can't replace the thing you need. But let me take you somewhere that you can breathe. Oh, shine, la, la, won't you shine
There you go. Shot by Will. Shouts to Will. Will. Who's Will? Who's Will? Is it a friend of yours or?
He's a person from Glasgow. He's a video maker from Glasgow.
Okay.
He's friends with Jodie, who's the girl with long hair in the video.
All right,
The
okay,
girl
nice,
with
nice.
white dress on. Yeah, he's friends with her. And she's also a very, very good musician as well. So yeah, they're connected. And my manager also knows Will as well. So that's how he got involved.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so could you? Is this one of these tunes you wrote like when you were younger, or is this a newish one?
It's kind of new. It was only about 2020, I think, when I wrote it. I wrote about my daughter, and it was just a little silly acoustic kind of like acoustic riff that I had. It was meant to be an instrumental, and then I put words to it. And then Callum Ingram, who plays cello, he got involved, and Lefty, who plays all sorts of Indian instruments, he got involved, and loads of other people got involved, and it just became a big, massive, huge tune. It was meant to be a B-side for another song, but it became too massive to be a B-side. I would like the idea of it getting because when I put a single out with a B-side, there's only ever like a few people that have go, oh, that other song was all right. It kind of just gets like swept under. Like albums and that. I don't really put out albums anymore because the first couple of songs might get played to death, but there's only like 7 or 8 songs that'll just never see the light of day. So it's better off just putting single after single out.
I was going to say, it seems like you've noticed that trend as well. There's a lot of albums that get put out and they get completely missed a lot of time. I got sent like I done a hip hop podcast before, like 2 years ago, and I get sent albums, EPs, all that kind of stuff. But I'm always like, I'm just looking for like one tune, like for the show sort of thing, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so again, that was maybe for me, but there's a lot of people that still just don't really listen to albums, or sort of everything's consumed like, as singles a lot of the time through Spotify and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, in 2022, I had an album called Wire to the Moon, and originally that was going to be just an album, just put the album out, and that was that. But we decided to just put a big load of singles out, and I think 11 singles came out of the 13 tracks, and basically what I'll probably just do from now on is just maybe put an album out at the end of the year, which is just compiled of a big load of singles, and have that as like sort of best of the year kind of thing, or all of the year, should I say, with a few added tracks. I don't know what the plan is. Probably just keep putting singles out for the time being and see what happens.
I think it's really the best way to go, because a lot of people, like, again, you push that to radio and stuff have got a chance to like focus like fully on that track. You've got a video as someone like for like outside guys to like listening to and stuff like that, and get like visuals for at least what you're doing. At least gives everybody a opportunity to concentrate on one thing.
Yeah, people don't have a big attention span now for things, especially like new bands and that. I mean, if Paul Weller drops an album tonight, I'll listen to it 3 times before the sun comes up, easily. But if my fucking best mate, my blood brother, releases a song, I'll struggle to sit through the first fucking verse. Like it's just how it is. I mean,
again, I've apologised for it enough. I refuse to apologise for it anymore. It's a very simple thing. It's just people have got just the attention span seems to disappear ever since like social media and everything started popping up. My attention span specifically has gone.
Yeah,
it's been
it's people have got about 8 seconds of an attention span now. If something's not entertaining them within 8 seconds, and that's it, because that's how long.
Nick? Sorry, I think I talked through you there because the screen jumped. Are you on any of the like TikTok or anything like that?
I've got a TikTok, yeah. When I put a single out, I'll put a little TikTok up, which is I'll just basically use the canvas that I'm going to use on Spotify. I'll just stick that on TikTok with the information about the song. I used to put them up quite a lot. Me and my daughter were doing them for a while during lockdown, and I put a few silly ones up, but she outgrew me or I outgrew her, one of the two, and we just got left. And I just use it for putting up singles now. I don't really like I said, I don't know how I wouldn't know what to do. Like I wouldn't know what to, because no, like I put a camera up at that speaker and try and pretend to be all happy and jolly and everything. It just doesn't sit right. I would rather just be grumpy and put a grumpy picture up or something on Instagram.
Perfect, Nick. Are we coming here from Gary Andrew Granger?
Oh, so,
hand clapping for the music video.
what was it clapping? What was it? Oh, nice. Thank you, Gary.
Well, I was struggling because it was you far away before, but now it's on screen. I can see it's hand clapping. I wasn't sure what it was.
It's tiny. I can barely see it, but I'm blind as fuck anyway. I can't see anything.
I know I'm the same, man. I should be wearing glasses right now, but I'm not. Rico Petruccelli, that song and video were awesome.
Thank you, Rico.
Perfect, man. Tell your friends, share the links, guys, if you can. Much appreciated. We'll see how this goes, man. Awesome. So, Nick, thank you for coming on, man. It's much appreciated.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem, man. Anytime, mate. Anytime. I'm hoping to do like no stuff, like get a few musicians on and stuff like that, and get used to like all have a debate and talks and fucking all that stuff. So I'll happily get you on for like some of the things, man. I'm sure you'll hear like a much better time with that.
Well, just get us all in person though, because that's what I miss about life is
Sure.
this, and like the screen's freezing and the microphone's breaking and shit. It's just it's shite. Like it's like we'll have to do it every day. It's sometimes, and it's so annoying. But yeah, it'd be good to come back to a studio environment.
For sure, man. I've got like a setup down the stairs and stuff like that. I've got like cameras and everything, and I've got these webcams could all hook up to the computers and stuff, so it's like easy for me to do that. So I'd quite happily do that. Get a few folk in and a big debate going or something, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Right now, I'll let you go, my man. Will I finish on with one of the session tracks? You want to play one of the session tracks that we've done with you?
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm going to play my favourite one.
Yeah.
We'll share the screen 2 seconds, man. Could have had this set up before, but I didn't.
Is this the original? So that years ago, yeah.
This is aye. This is the age of. This is Thank You for the Good Times.
Oh yes.
We'll chuck this one. What we'll do is we'll chuck this one and we'll get heading away. Thank you for everybody tuned in. Thank you again, Nick. And here you go. Thank you for the good times.
Thank you.
Peace.
With me, we'll enjoy the good times, sunshine memories. If you leave me here, I'll sit alone and cry, sleep in my lonely room, dream of the good times. Thank you for the good times, goes to my memory. Thank you for the good times, good times of day. Let me see you smile while sitting with me. We'll enjoy the good times, sunshine memories. You leave me, I'll sit alone and cry, sleep in my lonely room, dream of the good times. Thank you for the good times, goes to my memory. Thank you for the good times, the time of day. Thank you for the good times, goes to my memory. Thank you for the good times, the time of day. La 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 la. Whoa, oh, oh.